What's happening? What's happening? My beautiful people, good to see you. We are on a different format today. We are doing Zoom webinar. And if you've been hanging out here for a while, you would know that, you know, technical issues are bound to happen. If you just go right to the live audience when you have a free event like this, and especially when so many people registered, we had, close to over 100 people registered to this event. It's going to be a little bit of a recap of the things that we've been doing. And for now, you'll see that at the bottom, you have the opportunity to write something. So what I want to know, as you guys are coming into the room, coming into the room, could you please go to the question answer and plug in where you're coming in from? Where are you tuning in from? Put it in the question answer. We'll have a look. Let's see. Put it in the question answer. We will have a look. Okay. Let me see. Oh, nice. Halifax, beautiful. Calgary. See you on Saturday. Nice. Yes, so I guess you're going to Halifax. Okay, Nova Scotia, Moncton, Niagara Falls, Ontario. Nice. Keep as you're coming in, guys. I want to know where you tuning in from. I got people in Vancouver. Excellent. Niagara Falls. Wow. Catherine. She's gonna see me on Saturday, so I guess she's coming to the Halifax event. Hamilton. Beautiful. Where else? Put it in the chat box. Actually, not the chat box, the question answer. Where are you coming in from? We got people coming in from Halifax. We got people coming in from Calgary. Nice. Nova Scotia. Moncton. Niagara Falls, Ontario. Vancouver. Beautiful. Hamilton, Halifax, Seattle. Oh, Seattle, beautiful. Greeley, oh my goodness, Greeley. Luis, my brother Luis, good to see you, brother. Montreal, Toronto, Edmonton, Alberta. Wow, we got people from everywhere. Well, good to see everyone here. It's an AI revolution. It's the AI revolution. I'm excited about what we're going to be teaching about today. Let me just put that there for you guys. I'm excited about what we're going to be teaching about today. We're going to be talking about the AI Revolution Masterclass. This is a free masterclass, and we do have an event coming up, and looking forward to sharing that with you with my good friend Mike Koenigs. And on top of that, Mike and I, we had an interview, and I'll be sharing that with you today as well. I remember the AI movie. I don't know if you guys remember. Put it in the question answer. Say yes or no if you remember early 2000s, this artificial intelligence movie. Put it in the question answer. I want to see either yes or no if you remember the AI movie. And for some reason it doesn't give me the question answer. Let me see here. AI. Where did my little okay, it got hidden over here. Questions. Let me see. Beautiful. Yes. Do you remember that AI Steven Spielberg AI movie? Man, was he ever ahead of his time? Actually, since I have you here, I will show you that in my office, I always got the time machine. I got this time machine. And there's something about Steven Spielberg movies that, kind of get you to see into the future. Nice car. Yes, this car was given to me by my good friend Luis Rivas, that happens to be on the call right now. And big shout out to Luis in the house with a real estate issue. So someone has a real estate issue. This is not a real estate event, my friends. Please make sure some people, I think some people came into this event with some real estate questions. This is not a real estate event tonight, even though I am a real estate trainer. Tonight is all about AI, and that's exactly what we're going to be talking about. Um, AI and Steven Spielberg. I don't know. For some reason, he put out this movie early 2000s, and I remember watching this movie and just getting excited about what the future would hold. In fact, for me, it was kind of something really, really interesting to see this, these robots and automation and the robots interacting with humans. And if you haven't seen the movie yet, it was a Steven Spielberg movie that came out early 2000s, at some point in the early 2000s. I actually don't remember the date of when the movie came out, but go and watch it. Go and watch it. You can see how advanced Steven Spielberg is. I remember in 1987 watching Back to the Future and just, you know, thinking about all the possibilities of the future. And so that's exciting. And so this evening rather, this afternoon in the West Coast, um, we're going to be talking about AI and how can it help us in our businesses, especially if you're a real estate investor. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I am not an expert. I am simply someone that is forcing themselves to be a part of this revolution. I have no choice, and you have no choice. The world is changing, and if you don't change with the world, you will be left behind. And if not now, when? If not now, when? And you might join when it's too late. And so we want you to know what's going on, and we want you to know what's going on right now. So artificial intelligence, intelligence enables machines to analyze information and learn from it and act intelligently. So it's human like intelligence coming from a software to achieve very specific goals. And we're now understanding that artificial intelligence is going to impact all industries. And so some people are scared. Some people are saying it's going to, what's going to happen to our jobs? What's going to happen to all of this? What's going to happen to us? We'll talk about that as well. But at the end of the day, if you don't embrace this technology, you will be left behind. The people that won't have jobs are the people that do not know how to use AI. And so what are we going to be talking about during this masterclass? Well, I'll talk a little bit about my story in real estate, and not just real estate, but why I believe in AI and why I think right now is the time to really pay attention to this. How to use AI in real estate investing, which is very specific to my world and my business. And I'm also going to share an interview with me and Mike. Mike is a pioneer in AI, and we have an up and coming boot camp that we're doing live and in person, not in person, but we're going to be live. Mike and I, we have a boot camp coming up November 5th, so you might want to put that time on the side. Okay, so I'm going to share a little bit about my story, how I'm using AI, and then I'm going to share an interview with Mike, which I think will help you understand why I'm so excited about this type of education. This is not what I normally do. I've been educating on real estate for the past 18 years, but this here is so important. You cannot miss it. This time where we are right now, and this time right now, you cannot afford to miss anything. And so I'm going to be learning as much as you are. We are all learning, and I'm excited about what the future holds. So if you were with me over the weekend, and it appears that some people were, excellent. If you were with me over the weekend, We just came out of an amazing conference, Expand Investor Conference in Mississauga, and it was just an incredible event. Canada's biggest real estate investor conference. And, we got a big surge of tickets towards the end because I went on of course we were doing lots of marketing and stuff like that, but we didn't really feel the momentum. And then I did this one video on Zora, which got so much attention, so much feedback. People were talking. It bumped up at least 50 tickets. And so this free app, and this is just a little example. This free app here, 50 times 300, it's 50. It gave me $15,000 of revenue. And so not only that, people were engaging with it. We got thousands of views. Let me see if I can share this with you here. I had it lined up, but we were having trouble with the audio. So you guys will tell me if we're okay with the audio. This is the interview. Oh. There we go. There we go. Watch this.
You come to me, not on the day of my daughter's wedding, but on the weekend of the Expand Investor Conference. Join me and let's expand your legacy. You come to me, not on the day of my daughter's wedding, but on the weekend of the Expand Investor Conference. Join me and let's expand.
So look, in this case here, we're using it for marketing. It gave me a return of $15,000. I'm a tech ignorant. I'm an AI ignorant, but I'm forcing myself to learn the prompts, learn how to use AI. A lot of people just are using AI as a Google machine, but we already have a Google machine. And so we're using AI for very specific things, marketing, attraction. And so, whoops, yeah. So, it created more people came through the door at the end, before the event started, which created a better experience. And that's just one simple, small example on how you can tell a story. And so, what I love about AI is the ability to tell a story. I'm a storyteller. I've been educating people for about 18 plus years now. And the reason why I'm so successful is because I'm a storyteller. So, I'm using AI for other functions, but for me specifically, to help me in telling that story, to get people's attention to come to an event, it's incredible. A free app converts $15,000. Okay. Now we have, just today, I was working on some stuff here, and I'll see if I can share with you guys. Mark Cuban investing into our deal. Mark Cuban investing into our deal. Anyways, I'm excited. I'm excited about the storytelling aspect of it. What can be done, the marketing, and how you can tell that story, and how you can pull at people's heartstrings to get them to take action, right? Because it's all about getting people to take action. And so this can be very, very powerful. That event, we're coming back to it in Ottawa, and we've already started with creating some marketing for the Ottawa event. Let me see if I have one here. You're probably not going to be able to see it. Oh, look at this.
Up for Expand. Let's make some moves today. See y'all. Big things happening here. Hey, love, you made it.
Wouldn't miss it. Ready to inspire these investors?
Absolutely. Let's do it together. Ottawa, are you ready for what? I'm fired up for
Anyways, we still have some special ticket offerings, exclusive offerings. If you want to take advantage, we have extended it for the next 24 hours because I knew I'd be doing this event. You can come to the next Expand May 1st to the 3rd. You also are free to join me on my podcast. Come check us out at the Wealth Genius Podcast. Anywhere where you listen to your podcasts, whether they, Apple or Spotify or YouTube, come check us out. We are going after 1 million downloads, and we're excited about all the people that we're going to bring. We're going to, we focus a lot on real estate, but we've brought some AI content as well. People are scared of where we are in the economy right now, and it makes sense. We've had a couple of rough quarters. We are living through a recession, even though the government hasn't officially admitted it yet. But you have that market sentiment out there, and people are scared, and it's true. We don't know what's going on, but here's what we know. Thousands of companies, ideas, this revolution that's going to happen, all will happen during these next upcoming years. All the best companies, and we're talking about thousands and thousands of companies, have started through recession, depression, economic uncertainty. And so what companies are going to be created as a result of where we are right now, and what companies will be created as a result of the new technology, automation, AI. These are the things that you need to think about. Right now, we're currently going through the greatest wealth transfer in human history. And so you have to be ready and prepared. You have to be open to adopting all kinds of new strategies so you can thrive and be a part of this massive wealth transfer. A lot of people, there's a lot of influencers are out there, and obviously in Canada, we don't know what's going on. But I'll tell you this, if you adopt technology, if you adopt AI in your business, in whatever it is that you're doing, even if you're employed, you're the one that is going to be able to move forward while other people are left behind. We're currently living through the best of times, and I've said this over and over and over. We are currently living through the best of times. We have the best technology. That commercial that generated $15,000 in revenue for us, I created that in 3 minutes. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. I was able to create content because I understand the prompting, and I understand it. It doesn't mean I'm an expert at it. I'm just one step ahead of everybody. And so I'm learning these prompts to create marketing and visuals to be able to tell a story that generates revenue. And so if you do not adopt this technology today, you will be left behind. And if not now, when? And so a little bit about me, if you are just, if you've not interacted with me before, they call me the godfather of real estate. I've been in business for over 30 years now. I've started and managed and exited out of several multi-million-dollar companies. And I think that's the value that I bring to the table, because I've been in business for 30 years, but I've also been in multiple different kinds of industries, from marketing companies to clothing to online sales to webinar or event series companies, lots of different types of companies. And so I bring all of that experience when I'm stepping into the education world. And so 26 years ago, I became a full-time investor. Since that time, I've built a multi-million-dollar portfolio across Canada and the US. And about 18 years ago, I became a speaker, coach, mentor, trainer. And I've had the opportunity of training thousands and thousands of students across Canada and the US. And I've created thousands of millionaires, multimillionaires. And I'm proud of that, because I know that I've created a lot of time in people's lives. And so if you want to stay plugged in, if you want to stay connected to me, send me a DM, and we'll connect. I would love to connect with you. Send me a DM, and we will connect. This is my Instagram. I usually share this Instagram because when people hear me speak, what usually will happen is they'll go out there and try to find me online or whatever. And there's a lot of fake accounts. We have a lot of fake accounts out there. And so please use this account. Send me a DM. If you follow me, I will follow you. If you want me to send you a copy of this presentation, I will send you a copy of this presentation. Send me a DM and we'll get it done. All right. So $124 trillion in assets is set to change hands in the upcoming years. We're going through the greatest wealth transfer in human history. And for the very first time, there is new technology. For the very first time, we have systems, automation, we have AI, all of these things that weren't even a factor 10 years ago now become extremely important. And as we are changing and evolving, and AI, we're at the very beginning of this thing. There's going to be a lot of wealth that is created. And so you cannot afford to be left behind. You cannot afford to be left behind. And the key to success is in positioning yourself in front of that wave, and that wave is coming. Your biggest expense is not your mortgage, your rent, or your taxes. It's lost opportunities, not taking action when you know you should have taken action. A little bit about me. I came from El Salvador. I arrived to this country as a refugee. My mom had $30 in her purse. I grew up in social housing, and ultimately dropped out of high school, lived on the streets, and I had a life-changing moment when my daughter was born. I was a teenage parent, more than 30 years ago. That changed everything for me. It gave me a perspective, it gave me a drive, and that's how I started my first business in 1995. Is in the middle of a recession. I started my first clothing business that I later grew to businesses all across Canada. And then I started to really educate myself on how to build wealth. And that's where I started investing in real estate about 26 years ago. And so for me, I've always um, been resistant to technology. It's just not my forte. But this time is different. This time I have no choice. I have to force myself, and that's exactly what I've been doing. And the results have been incredible. So let's talk about how we can use AI in our real estate. But not only that, I want to also share with you this video with Mike, because Mike has really opened up my mind to everything. And he's coming to expand. So the next expand is in Ottawa. He's going to come in person, live and in person. He was at this last expand. We brought him in through Zoom. And I also had the opportunity of interviewing Mike, and we're creating this amazing partnership together. And we have this event coming up on November 5th that we're going to talk about in just a moment. But look, the first thing that I always look for is how to save time. As you guys know, the value of real estate is based on the net operating income. How can we save time to reduce our overall expenses so the business becomes profitable and the real estate goes up in value? And so where are the areas that we can save time? Well, property valuation, underwriting, market selection. How are we choosing our markets? Where are we getting our data from? All of these things can be done by AI. Deal sourcing, and lead sourcing. Where are we finding all the opportunities? How can we create systems to bring deals to us? Every time we can reduce the amount of people that are involved, you instantly make your company more profitable. You instantly can make the real estate more profitable. If you increase the net operating income, you force the appreciation. If you guys have been with me for a while, real estate is all about the numbers. when you reduce your expenses, you impact the value of the real estate. Occupancies, forecasting, we've been using this a lot. As you guys know, I am a builder. We're building apartment buildings, and now we can kind of gauge what the rentals are going to be like, what the occupancy is like. We didn't have access, or we would have to take so much time to be able to create these projections. Optimizing our own portfolio and risk management. How can we use automation, robotics? How can we use AI to help us reduce our expenses? Inspections, appraisals. We can, before we even get to doing an appraisal or a property inspection, we can use AI to support us in this effort. Again, every time you save money, you create value in the real estate. You're making money. Reporting. So there's a lot of investor communications that we have to generate. We have a dedicated person in our office. Now, we love this person to death, but now once we can implement AI and have them generate those reports, communicate with our investors. The investors are happy. We have reports, and we can start eliminating some of the people within our office. Not that I want to, but they can probably do other things that help grow the company. And so the company becomes more valuable. Chatbots with your tenants. One of the things that really, really, really impact the property management is the amount of phone calls that we have to take from these tenants. So we're reducing the amount of phone calls with human beings and replacing them with chatbots, right? Where tenants can interact, ask questions. And what happens with AI, it gets smarter and smarter and learns how to answer these questions. Again, you reduce your cost, the property becomes that much more valuable. Think about this. A simple reduction of $25. If you can reduce the expenses of your property by $25 on 65 units, $25 per unit. If you can reduce the expense by $25, you can create $500,000 of new value. $25 in reduction of expense can equal $500,000 in new property value. And then understanding the news that comes in and how to monitor the market sentiment. What's happening in the market? What are people saying? You can have all of this in real time. And then, of course, the sustainability of the projects. And so many ways, and I'm just kind of like, scraping the surface here, but so many ways of how you can use AI to really optimize your real estate portfolio. And when it comes to real estate, a simple $25 over 65 units can give you $500,000 of new value. To me, that's incredible. And so you're more powerful than you think. With AI, you can, a small team can do monstrous things. You can look like a Fortune 500 company, and that is the power of AI. So I've been hanging out with my good friend Mike, and he has been teaching me a lot. A while back, we said, you know what? I want you on my podcast. I want you to teach our people AI. We're gonna create a program. We've done it. We're gonna deliver it. It's a one-day boot camp. You can't miss it. It's the AI Accelerator one-day boot camp virtual event, and it's happening next week from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We made it at 11 to give some time for the people on the West Coast, because I saw there's a lot of people here that are coming in from Vancouver. And so, Mike knows his stuff, right? He's a pioneer in this, and you'll see because I'm going to share the interview in just a moment. But not only has has he been invited to NASA to train them on AI, but he works with Tony Robbins, and they do a lot of different events, and he's doing a lot of training on AI, and it's just incredible to see everything that's coming up. So the event is about $487. We have this event at $77. So we are extending our expand exclusive discount that we had. This is the QR code, $77 for 2 people. That's nothing, guys, nothing. And so you can scan that QR code, expand 25 is the code. You have to remove the existing code that's there and then plug in that code. And I'm going to come back and talk a little bit about the event in just a moment, but I'm going to also share the event that we have coming up. So let me just prepare for that. Let me see if there's any more people are sharing. Montreal, November the 5th. Today's November the 5th. Yes, somebody was confused about the day. Members Day ceremonies. Yes. Okay. So look, there's also a link in the chat. You have a link in the chat. You can go directly to it. But having said that, I'm just gonna get it right into Mike's interview, so you can watch it, enjoy it, and yeah, he's gonna talk all about the boot camp as well. So enjoy.
And I love having all kinds of collaborations and amazing people. What Wealth Genius does is we look into the industry, we look for the very best. Mike, you are the best in this industry in terms of AI. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I would have to say that I'm not as savvy as most people when it comes to AI. Some people our friend Nikki, and we started collaborating, and then we have an event coming up, and we'll talk about that as well. But Mike, please just share with us, how in the world did you get involved with this?
All right. Well, here's the funny thing. A good buddy of mine texted me, and I had heard that ChatGPT was coming out, and this is November 20th, 2022. And he texted me, he said, dude, have you looked at ChatGPT yet? And I said, I'm going into my office in just a minute. I'm going to check it out. And he goes, meet me on Zoom. So I met him on Zoom, and he showed me a couple things. And that's when I had that light bulb moment. The same thing the first time I used a modem, the first time I got on the internet, the first time I used America Online, really the first time I ever touched a computer, which I'll date myself in 1976, because when I saw first TRS-80 Model 1 computer at a Radio Shack, I was like, that's what I'm going to do for the rest of my life.
Wow.
And I started writing video games when I was 14 years old, and I did software. I'd started a couple software companies. I had a few exits, but when I saw AI, I was like, this is 1,000 times bigger than the internet will ever be. Orders of magnitude.
And we don't even know where it's going to go. Like, this is just the beginning of this massive wave, right?
Yes.
And we're just right here at the very beginning, and the people that feel like me. So I'm going to put myself in, maybe someone that's listening to this, in their shoes. It's like, oh my God, I don't have enough information. I feel like I'm left behind. I don't want to be like my parents, like my mom, has to call me to use the remote for the VCR back in the day, right? So, I think everybody has to embrace it, and we got to just go with the flow. And as things become more user friendly, that's what I need. Things that are more user friendly. But AI, I think the AI will fix the AI.
Yeah, well, there's that. Here's what I always show when I'm presenting on screen is I say, raise your hand if this sounds like you. I'm so busy running my business, I don't have time to learn AI.
It's me.
And yeah, and what I tell everyone is it's like, look, the most important thing you need to realize about AI is AI will actually teach you how to use it if you learn how to ask better questions. And Tony Robbins has said for many years, the quality of your life is dependent on the quality of the questions you ask.
Yes, yes.
And I've worked with Tony for many years. I speak on his stage. I've done a bunch of stuff with him, and he's deep in it right now. And I will just say, the good news is we're at the very beginning of the hockey stick.
Yeah.
The thing you have to realize is that, in the world of real estate, for example, the people who are going to win in real estate are the ones who start using AI now and use it to do due diligence and do deals and use it, for example, to review contracts. Because in the time that you could say, I need help with blank, and then delegate it, and then send something to an attorney or send something to an assistant, or you could actually just put it right inside an AI, give it a good question. In fact, you don't even need to do it. Say, here's what I want. Show me how to do this and then do it for me. You'll have an answer faster than you will have pressed the send button on your email telling someone to help you.
Yeah.
Okay? That is the new world we live in. And we're not far away from the AI's monitoring, if you give it permission, your email box and anticipating what you need and doing it ahead of time, where you'll say, yeah, I like the way you did it this way or this way. It'll do it 3 different ways and say, according to our experts, this expert, here's the best way to do it.
I love it.
That is the future. And most people have a hard time just comprehending either giving up their agency, which we already do, which is, you and I at a very young age are taught to trust the gurus or the teachers or the bureaucrats or the governments. And we've given up our agency a long time ago. This is an opportunity to take it back because you have a massive supercomputer in your hand that's available 24/7 that will solve any problem or even automate it. It's just like, how do you bridge that short-term gap to get to the place where you take back your agency? And that's really what AI is all about.
And then you just spoke at NASA.
Yes.
I mean, like, was it surreal? Like, is it something like, what's going on here, Mike?
Completely surreal. I'll give you the background, or I'll actually show a couple slides. So
Please,
I got a call from a director at NASA who said, we'd like you to have you show us generative AI to help NASA get back to the moon and to Mars by 2040. Okay, which I don't know anything about space travel or Mars, but here I can show you. There I am on stage speaking.
Amazing.
And look, I'm not a scientist. I'm just a guy who got on AI faster than most. And here I am. I'm surrounded with all these amazing scientists and etc. And I spoke next to Dragana, who is a MIT teacher. We got, they asked us, show us how generative AI is going to help us get back to the Mars. And now one thing is generative AI doesn't mean a lot to a lot of people. All it means is you can talk to AI, it'll make images, like all the images and videos you see are 100% made like in about 1 minute.
Crazy.
And I just listened to the director telling me what they need and what they want. I recorded it. I fed that into AI to build a presentation. And then their goal was to rile up and get engineers and scientists and space investors, public and private students together and demonstrate something. So here's what happened. What I showed them is, it turns out, like, if you ever send someone up into space, because of gravity and also the way we inhale air, or if you go on Mars or on the moon and breathe in particles, it's going to mess up your respiratory system. So, and one of their goals are like, how do we get back to space? And I used AI to identify a problem, which is respiratory problems. And
So
then,
just hold on a second. So
yeah, go ahead.
you prompted AI
Yep.
to solve an issue that we could not solve.
That's right.
Like,
Yep.
so you're like, how can we breathe on Mars? Pretty much.
Yeah, basically, how do we prevent our whole respiratory system from failing when we're in space? That's way. So the AI just took a conversation, identified a bunch of problems, and picked one of them, and then I had it design an app, and then design a commercial. And this little commercial was made in 40 minutes, start to finish, 100% synthetically. I'll play it for you now, just to give you an idea of
Wow.
how advanced this is. Here goes.
On the moon are bunkers every breath. As radiation and combined habitats silently stress the lungs. Astronauts often don't realize their respiratory health is changing until it's too late. Cough Sense is a simple, non-invasive way to track breathing health over time. By analyzing coughs and voice patterns, it spots early warning signs, shifts in frequency, tone, and recovery that astronauts may not feel themselves. With Cough Sense, crews gain autonomy in monitoring their own wellness without waiting on Earth for analysis. It's a safety net that helps protect missions, performance, and lives.
All right. So
So
what did this do?
This is a commercial of the app, the Cough Sense app.
Of the app, which then I used AI to build the app right in front of that NASA director.
Wow.
And she was like, she just turned to me and said, our engineers don't think this way. And I'm like, look, I know nothing about space. Okay. This is not my area, but I just talked to AI to help design this. And the ideas got validated while I was there. So here's what's important for anyone thinking, okay, is what the hell does NASA do to me? What does NASA have to do with me? And the answer is, you've got challenges. What I always say, you've got $100,000 challenges in front of you every day. Every business has a whole bunch of them. And it's like, how do I make the $100,000 problems go away? And how do I unlock the $1 million opportunities?
Yeah.
And one of the things that I built, and we'll talk about when we do our session together, is I made a little tool, and I'll show you how I made the tool. So I always say, I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to show you how AI will do it for you so that you can do it yourself. I teach you to fish. I'm not going to just give you the fish. I'll give you the fish too, but we're going to, I built a little tool to uncover and find your $100,000 problems and identify your $1 million opportunities, because
Wow.
the future of business are entrepreneurs solving larger than life problems that have never been solvable before, even when they don't know how to solve them. You don't need physics experience. You don't need language experience. You don't need history experience, because AI already knows all this stuff. It's about creatively thinking with the tool, and now staying in your strategic mind, not in the doing mind, because what hangs us up, especially if you're ADHD, is constantly getting distracted. Well, AI takes your distraction, turns it into creativity, and makes it real.
Wow.
Faster than most people can delegate.
And what I love about it is, like, people like you are part of this AI revolution. It's a revolution. It
really is.
And where it will end up, we don't know. We have an event though, AI Accelerator 1-day virtual boot camp, November 11th, 11 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to put all the information in the show notes. You're also coming to present at Expand as well, which I'm excited about. This time virtually, but maybe one day your AI will come.
I'll make it. I'll make it. There's also, you'd be blown away with how good some of the new AIs are. I can even demonstrate that, but keep on talking about that, and I'll get something ready to show you.
It would be really interesting to, well, obviously I'm glad that you're coming to Expand Investor Conference, but you are going to come in person. We talked about that in May, but what I think is really interesting is that, you could be in a room and not be in the room. I mean, it could be AI counterpart in the room doing a whole presentation for you. How far are we from that? What do you think about that?
Okay. let me show you something because I'm actually going to demonstrate the current state of synthetic video doing a likeness of. Okay, so I'll begin here and make sure you can see my screen. You can see my screen, right?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So I'll let you decide. Here you go.
There, and welcome to AI Accelerator. This is Mike Koenigs, and I'm so excited to share a synthetic version of me built in HeyGen. This is the current cutting edge of synthetic video production, and as you can see, it's almost 100% there. I'm going to show you another version in a moment where I'm using my real voice in the video is following me. Stay tuned.
Okay. It's pretty close. Most
Yeah.
people who wouldn't know better, right? But
Yeah.
then this is this one, and I'll just play it and then I'll tell you what happened.
Hey there, and welcome to AI Accelerator. This is Mike Koenigs, and I'm so excited to share a synthetic version of me built with HeyGen. This is the current cutting edge of synthetic video production, and as you can see, it's almost 100% there. Now, this version I recorded with my real voice, so the video is actually following what I'm saying to you right now. All right, love to see what you think of it. Bye-bye.
All right, so that is state of the art. So basically what that means is, I don't know, what do you think?
I
What's your vote?
think it's wild. I mean, I'm looking at all the possibilities, right? So in Wealth Genius, we do a lot of training. We have a lot of, we have modules, we have training videos. And, when things need to be updated, we kind of have to wait until I get into the studio, right? And really re-record, because real estate is changing quickly and people need to pivot. We're going from a buyer's market to a stable market to a seller's market, or vice versa. We need to be there for our students to make sure that we give them the most relevant education. But if I'm on the road, I'm traveling here and there, like, how can I be in two places at once?
Yes. So that, my friend, is the $1 billion question. And we're close. Like right now, I could take and demonstrate this to you and for you, where we could take your curriculum, have it speak in your voice and be a virtual you, and create a sizable amount of content. And most people wouldn't know the difference. Okay. And then I can actually show you a couple other things that are also on the cutting edge that are super, super impressive. And I'm going to find one of them because my son got hired. So I mentioned that I spoke for Tony Robbins, but my son just made a video for an upcoming Tony Robbins AI event. And if you'd like, I'll play that for you along with the current cutting edge of video marketing that I made what I'm about to show in about 1 minute. Okay. So I told you I'm going up to speak at a biohacker event as soon as we're done recording this today. And it's for Dave Asprey. And they're all thinking about, like, how do they use AI to market and promote their products and services? So these are two little mini commercials. All I did is took a picture of their logo and I spoke into an app called Sora. This came from ChatGPT. So I'm going to play two mini commercials for you that were made in about a minute each.
Strip, diving into danger coffee. Let's do it. Vegas, baby. Woo! Smooth landing. That is gold, rich, and dangerously good. Get yourself a...
Okay, so that's the first one. Here's the second.
Jump into a giant cup of danger coffee. Here we go. That's one danger coffee. Who knows what you might...
All right. That's like totally free with an app on your phone.
Yeah.
Pretty close to synthetically accurate. Now this, my son is using another tool called VEO3. It's a Google tool, and he's actually got a background in film production. So, and he's a good storyteller. So I'll just play it for you, and then I'll explain a little bit about how it was made and why it's relevant to our friends here. because again, my goal is just to expose you to some ideas and some thinking. And then when we're together, we're going to actually do it together. But here
Yeah,
goes.
so
Does it feel like the world's moving faster than you can even think? Every week, there's a new update, a new must learn, another AI breakthrough. You try to keep up, but the ground keeps shifting. And somehow, it's getting louder. Notifications, dashboards, voices stacked on top of each other until even your thoughts were out of sync. What if focus wasn't something you had to chase? What if clarity was as simple as changing your lens, where the noise settles and patterns emerge? You don't need more hours. You need a new operating system for your business, because when you see clearly, you realize you were never behind. You just hadn't put on the right lens yet.
So that's just a prototype. He's still working on this, but he uses tools that allow him to make like clips, and then he's editing them together. So I think what's really important, a distinction is AI is not here to replace you any more than, if you go back in history, every time there's ever been a technological revolution of any sort, more jobs and more abundance is unlocked and created. So if you go back to like the trains, now there are some people who are using horse and buggy to move products back and forth and go across the country, for example, might have been mad about it because a train displaced them. However, when trains were being made and railroads were being laid, the opportunity for engineers and people who built trains, I guarantee you they made 3 times more than anyone riding a horse and a buggy.
100%, 100%.
And the same is happened with software and coding. Now, the truth is, the software tools like that I use to make the NASA app, anyone could learn to use. Traditional, what I'd call weak programming, which would be the equivalent of putting, working at Subway and putting meat on a bun, which anyone can do. That kind of programming is going away, right? But the opportunity right now for data centers and for power generation, new electricity, making high-tech solutions. There's a huge need right now and not enough people to do that. And the wave that is being unlocked with AI is to become 3 to 10 or 100 times more effective, more capable, and more productive and value creation than ever before. And that really is the race. And it isn't any different than any other technological breakthrough, like when the web took over, newspapers shook. Well, there was still plenty of time and opportunity for newspapers to adopt and adapt.
Yeah.
So it's just happening at a pace so quickly. And I think the real question that I have for everyone these days is, if not now, when? That is the question that you've got to answer for yourself, because folks that don't get on the bandwagon, I think, are really going to suffer from this, just like ignoring email, ignoring the web. And that is, I think, what I think you have the vision to recognize is like, if not now, when? So anyone in your community that isn't looking at this as a massive opportunity to differentiate themselves, be the best, the most expensive, and the only. Pick something unique and own it. And right now, there's so many opportunities to completely own and dominate a space with AI.
Wow. I can't wait. November 11th. By the time we get to November 11th, we might already have new updates.
I guarantee you. Here's what's happening. I swear this is the case. So just literally when not even 30 seconds before you and I connected to record this, I got a message from Dave Asprey. He sent me a brand new update from a brand new company he got involved in. He says, hey, can you use AI to do something for this? And I'm like, sure thing. So I got about a 3-hour flight from San Diego to Austin. I'm going to be building 40% of the presentation I'm going to be presenting less than 24 hours from right now. 40% of it's going to be completely different with brand new technology that's been released in the past 24, 48, 72 hours.
Wow.
That's how fast this is moving. So by the time you and I are together and we're doing our session, there's a probability 60% of what I normally present is going to be updated. Now I'm going to focus on the mindsets. The mindsets never change,
Yeah.
but the tools are shifting, and the tools are toys. They're just vehicles. The key to this whole world right now is you have an opportunity to switch between a Ferrari, a Lamborghini, a Tesla if you want, a Lotus if you're into something, or if you just prefer driving a big old Sequoia, fine. If you like a Cadillac, fine. All these AIs are just different vehicles to get you to the same general place. But I pick a different car. I use a different vehicle for everything because some of them are better geniuses in different areas. And
Yeah.
they're racing right now. I mean, this is the F1. And right now, AI is in the space of F1 cars. We're going to be at F1 spaceships a year from
Wow.
today or 2 years from today.
I'm excited. I'm excited. Again, I'm not a techie person, but I have to embrace it. That's the mindset I have. I have no choice. I have to figure it out. I got to embrace it. I got to get on ChatGPT. I'm realizing the more that I use it, it's all about prompts. And I think a big shift in the education system right now needs to be in teaching young people how to prompt AI, right? And it's not being taught. Like where do you see things going in terms of the education system for young people?
So here's the thing. I talk to a lot of kids. I mentor a lot of kids, and
Nice.
I help them. Like my nephew started a company with one of my clients, and then he helped him solve $100,000 problem in a week by writing an AI, and he's not a programmer. Okay, and he was told over and over again by a bunch of companies, we don't have a solution for this. You're on your own. And it was basically a complicated tax problem he had. So then after that, my son and he were talking and brainstorming. So my son went away, and my son's 23 and my nephew's 20. So my son went away, created a little mini commercial, prototyped an app, built a business plan, and had a functional prototype of the product ready in 1 week. And this client and my son, he didn't finish college. Like he's smart, but he's been exposed to this. And I just showed him the same stuff I taught at NASA. Okay, same exact thing. He took this and ran with it. So what happened was this guy gave my son a high-paying job, close to 6 figures, plus equity in the company with 1 week of work. So now I'm going to answer your question about the future of work. The future of work, the best kind of work, is mentorship apprenticeship. Here's the reality. I think most kids know how to use ChatGPT better than the teachers do. And they tell me all the time, they cheat with it. Okay. Now, really, really smart kids don't want to cheat with AI. They'll say, I didn't use AI to finish my work. But other kids who are using it to cheat are getting more work done faster. And I'll be like, okay, well, you could say that's terrible. Or you can say it wasn't too long ago, like when I went to school, I had to handwrite everything on paper. And if something was too messy, it got sent back to you and you had to redo it again. Okay. By hand. Okay. Then it got to be okay where you could type something. But with an old typewriter, they didn't have whiteout built into the old ones. You had to take a little thing and put whiteout paste over a bad letter, back up. And then calculators, we couldn't use calculators. Okay. And so with every advancement in tools and technology and education, the educational systems absorb the new tools, make it mainstream. And again, you can look and say, well, AI to get schoolwork done is bad. Now, I think all kids need to learn real history and how to connect with people and get their damn noses out of their phones, okay? This is crack cocaine and giving your kids heroin. If your children have a phone, you're enabling addiction. That is a hard fact and reality that we live with in today's society, okay? I can't change that, but we can be aware of it. So the future of education is integrated with AI when a young person can learn how to use this amazing mind expanding tool, get mentored on the job, maybe not having to go to college, but get a high paying, high powered job, AI enabled to create value at a younger age. I say the key, the secret to growing a better world is to allow everyone to be an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship is an international language of peace and prosperity that
100%.
by
100%.
every culture and every person. And I think bringing experienced, wise people together with young people to show them the ropes and AI enable is the future. And I
And-
think
and-
those who ignore that are going to be left behind.
And it's also the past, because
Yeah.
this is how we used to teach,
Yeah.
mentorship and apprenticeship. That's how we used to teach things, like, hundreds of years ago.
Totally.
We only changed into the current education system during the industrial era, where
That's right.
we needed assembly lines. So we needed to make sure that we created lots of employees for assembly lines.
We turned humans into robots, and right now, so I had a little brain fart. I was out for a walk the day before yesterday, and I was thinking to myself, if you talk to not all, but most Uber or Lyft drivers, anyone who's driving and doing gig work, most of them will say, I love the fact that I've got total freedom. I can work wherever I want, whenever I want to, and make as much money as I want to. So in a way, we've been training an entire new class of entrepreneurs who are thinking through the lens of being absolutely flexible. So an AI enhanced, AI enabled workforce where anyone with one of these can go out and find opportunities, solve problems, and create value anywhere in the world without language or your education system interfere. It's like you can tell stories, you can build apps, you can solve problems that are unsolvable. I think that is a better way of looking at this than, oh my God, I'm going to lose my job putting shoe horses or horseshoes on a horse, or shoveling animal poop in the streets. Okay, because it wasn't too long ago, people were dying because the animal poop created and caused or supported disease in the street.
Yeah.
Okay, and technology will solve our biggest challenges. That is the illusion and the hallucination that I choose to believe. And look, it isn't all roses, but I think we can solve our biggest problems faster. And people who normally didn't have access to the tools to solve these problems, or the education, or whatever kind of access, suddenly will.
My good friend, I love this. AI Revolution, November 11th, our AI Accelerator. 1-day boot camp, 3 hours, 11 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to have an offer here for everybody. It's like a $600 event, but we're doing it for $87. And all the information is down below. If not now, when?
That is
If
so
not
true.
now, when? And I think for Wealth Genius, we brought the very best. I'm excited about this AI revolution and everything that we're going to be doing together, and all the plans that we have, Mike. I'm so excited, and I'm looking forward to that event in November 11th. Quickly, what are they going to learn before we
The
sign up?
most important thing of all.
Yeah.
All right. So I teach something, we call it the 4 quadrants of AI. So that it's broken down into 4 categories. So number 1 is enhancing your AI superpowers. You're going to learn the fastest, easiest shortcuts to using AI like an expert in a matter of minutes. And I'm going to give you my 5 best tools. And if you just understand these basic tools, and they're really simple to use and they're progressive, okay? Even with one of them, you're going to get further faster. So that's the first one. The second is what I call your 1-person marketing team. If you think about it, the greatest, most successful humans are great storytellers, okay? Elon Musk, whether you love him or hate him, is a great storyteller. The reason why he bought Twitter that became X is so he could storytell and broadcast without censorship, right? That tells you something about him. Steve Jobs sold us the iPhone. This is back in 2007. This is the greatest pitch ever. Apple's a multi-trillion-dollar industry. If you can't tell a story, you're screwed. Okay,
Yeah.
you won't be given the chance. So you want to sell a house, you got to be a great storyteller. You want to sell real estate, you got to be a great storyteller. It doesn't matter what it is. So storytelling with AI, faster, more effectively. The third
Things happening here.
is creating value. So I'm going to demonstrate how to create apps, marketing stories, even writing books and content that turn into products. I always say your goal is to be a category of one founder brand, the best, the only, and the most expensive. And the fourth is automation, using AI to automate, like check your email, follow up with email, or do tasks for you while you sleep. How about an AI that helps you find customers and leads, or will go out and do due diligence for you? Those are the kinds of things that we're going to be covering and learning. So it's 4 quadrants. The most important thing is, yeah, I'm going to show you how to do this. Yeah, I'm going to give you the tools, but more importantly, I'm going to teach you how to think in AI so you and your teams can do it. And then, of course, there's a way to continue once we get this momentum going, because the good thing about Alfonso and I is we're focused on and thinking about your better future and how to create a better future for you so you have more time, more money, more freedom. And that's really what Expand and AI Accelerator together is all about.
Woo! I love it. I love it. I can't wait. I'm excited. We're gonna give people the tools that they need in order to participate in this massive wave. And I'm not missing it. I am going there. I'm pushing myself. I'm pushing
Yep.
myself, Mike. I
You
have
gotta do it, man.
Yeah.
This is like I would hate to not be in the middle of this. And look, it's moving fast, but there's a way to grab on, hang
Yeah.
on, and you know what? If you hear someone say, "I'm the biggest, best guru in the world," they're a liar. We're all learning at the same time. I'm the one-eyed king in the valley of the blind. You know, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed king is, or the one-eyed man is king.
Mhm.
I got an eye on this. There's no doubt about it. But I'm not saying I'm the best or the only. What I do have the benefit of is I am in the dirt right now, solving problems, building businesses, and teaching tens of thousands of people. It does give me a bit of a leg up. But in the meantime, I'm learning just like you. And I'm just a little bit further ahead because I've got some exposure. But that's what's great about it is I'm really, really motivated. It gives me a ton of ambition to support and help more entrepreneurs make more, keep more, and have more freedom because of the tools.
I love it. November 11th is the date. The information will be somewhere attached to this video or on the podcast show notes. Mike, thank you for your time. Thank you so much. One last thing. What's one mantra or something inspirational that you live by?
Oh, man. So my outside of AI,
Anything,
Okay.
just in general, your life.
dude, get it done now. Urgency, urgency, urgency. If I have a rule, here's my rule of life. I'm gonna either do it with you right now, I'm gonna schedule it to do it with you, or I'm gonna delegate it, or the answer is no. So I don't do homework. That's one thing I don't do. So now, urgency, no homework. Those are my rules of life.
The best time in history is now.
Right now.
There's
Yep.
there's no better time than now.
I wouldn't want it to be any faster, and I wouldn't want it to be any slower.
Thank you, Mike. We'll
My
see
pleasure.
you November 11th. Let's go.
Oh boy, okay, let me just shut that down. All right, my friends, here we go. We are back. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to throw this up here. Let me see if there's any comments here. Could I get a copy of this? Yes, if you're wondering, by the way, put it in the chat, and not in the chat. There's a place with question answer. Put it in there to see if you. I'd like to know if you enjoyed that. Also, I'll share the QR code right now for that event that we have coming up on November 11th. And 11 a.m. At 11 a.m., we always like to, I think it's Remembrance Day. I think someone was talking about Remembrance Day. So we'll start at 11:01. Give you 1 minute of silence, and that's not a problem right there. So also you'll notice that when we were in the video, we said 87. So this video went out on our podcast as well. But you know, we've for Expand, so Mike came in and presented at Expand. We had a special Expand offer, which is $77. Plus, you can bring guests. So 2 people for $77, which is a no-brainer. So you scan the QR code, you go there, and you plug in the code, which is Expand 25. If you use the link in the chat box, and can we put that link again into the chat box? Let's put the link again into the chat box. If you put the link into the chat box, or if you use the link in the chat box, it will bring you directly where we've already created the discount. We already have the discount in the on the Eventbrite. So if you go to the chat box, which is somewhere at the bottom of the top of your page, you'll see that you can go directly there. And I think, let me just test it out here. Yeah, we'll test it out later. But you can go and get it directly. So that was our event. Thank you everyone for tuning in. We had a lot of people registered for this event. And congratulations to all the people that bought tickets. That is incredible. This is going to expire. We do want an intimate room where people can ask a lot of questions, because we're going to be using the technology. We're not just going to be showing you the technology. We're going to show you how to use the technology. So it's going to take us a good 3-4 hours. And so we want an intimate room so people can ask the questions. And so there is a possibility of this event being completely closed once we get to our number. I see that there's already 28 people registered. So congratulations to all the people that are coming. All you got to do is take a screenshot or whatever you want to do with, use the QR code, go directly, get your tickets, and be ahead of this wave. The key to success is in positioning yourself in front of a wave. You're going to learn exactly what to do and how to be in front of that wave. Like I said in the video, this is something that makes me extremely uncomfortable, which is why I'm doing it, why I'm investing into AI, why I'm investing into education, why I need to learn more and more and more and more and more and more. And so $77, plus you can bring a guest. That's cheap. That's nothing. Let me see here. 77, I think it's 30 divided by 2, $38, guys. That's nothing. Spend a few hours with us. Learn how to get in front of that wave. Learn how to get in front of that wave. AI Accelerator, one day boot camp. In fact, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 3 hours intensive with myself hosting, and Mike, if you just heard Mike, he's incredible. Not only was he hired by NASA, but he's been doing a lot of work with Tony Robbins and all the people in this space, because right now this is just the beginning of that wave. And so if you are not on that wave, you will miss it. You will miss it. And so come get your tickets, come to that event, and come and learn why you need to be in front of that wave. We're going to show you the tools. Mike will talk about his quadrant and how to become an AI specialist and how to learn how to talk to AI, what are the prompts, and how to use all the technology for whatever business that you're in. If you're in real estate, if you're in just any other business, if you're in sales, if you are an employee, you need to come to this event. So my friends, that brings us up to the end. I really appreciate your time, and I'm looking forward to seeing you at the AI Accelerator, our one-day boot camp, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. $77, plus you bring a guest, so 2 people for $77. Get your ticket, and we will see you again. Now, if you're watching this on the replay, we have allotted a few days after this gets replayed, and then we're going to remove the offer, and so it's going to go back to $487. So what I want you to do is I want you to make sure you get your tickets right away. November 11th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. We will see you all at the top. Woo! Let's go.